Quickies from 1953. Now these were called boiled cookies because you boiled the ingredients. The 50s was a time of blossoming creativity. Today they are known as no-bakes, which is also the drug testing policy of anyone employed by the government. First up, we need a skillet. Do you all call this a frying pan or a skillet? I call it Steve. In goes a half cup of butter. 2 cups of sugar. Calories don't count on Christmas. Half a cup of moon juice. Yes, you can put liquid in dry measures. Volume doesn't change. Fight me. 3 tablespoons of potted cocoa. Now we bring this to the boil and then let it boil for precisely 1 minute. Fire! You've never been there, have you? New positions are fun. It's boiling. Beep. Done! Now we remove from heat and quickly add in a cup of peanut butter, a bit of vanilla, and 3 cups of quick oats. Then mix. Scoop onto wax paper and let them dry. They are firm. Judging by how they smell, I might be too. Whoa, man! They're like candy. Good cookie. An asparagus cake from 1980. You know, I don't make these things up. They legitimately get printed in cookbooks for reasons I've yet to fathom. Our kitchen to yours. You can keep it. First, we need 2 cups of grated asparagus. This is food for sheep and people who do yoga. Next is a cup and a half of vegetable oil, orange rind, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, vanilla asparagus. Really? 8 ounces of crushed pineapple and the juice. Sorry, pineapple, vanilla asparagus. My bad. 3 eggs. The dry ingredients are 3 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 7 yam, and a cup and a half of chopped nuts. Mix. Terror guacamole. Bad. An hour at 350. Woo! So heavy. Powdered sugar, orange, moon juice. Woo! So it's a nice moist cake, but it's flavored like the underneath of a lawnmower. It's earthy. Not quite right. Almond Milk from 1965. Now, I didn't know you could just make almond milk until I found it in the miscellaneous section of this here encyclopedia, and lo and behold. Our first step was to cover a cup of almonds in cold water overnight. Good night. Good morning. Then we discard the water. Put the almonds in a blender, adding to it 4 cups of fresh water. Then we blend for about 3 minutes. Yeah, it's milky. Now we need to strain this to prevent bits of nuts from getting into the milk. You could use a tea towel or some cheesecloth, or something literally called a nut milk bag, though that's normally used to prevent children. This feels familiar. And bam, that's almond milk. I thought it was a lot more complicated than that. If you want it sweetened, add some sugar. If you want vanilla, add a bit of vanilla. I mean, it's almond milk. Good almond milk. So if you have some almonds in a blender, go to town. A pinto bean cake from 55. I don't even know what to say about this one. We start by draining 2 27-ounce cans of pinto beans. So I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Now we put 1.5 cups of peanuts through a grind-o-mat. Where did the peanuts come from? What's a grind-o-mat? Are you alright? Put the beans in the grind-o-mat. This is not, how can I say, right? Oh no! Ay, señor. Quesadilla total en la cocina. 3/4 of a cup of honey. To this baby food-looking refried funeral? How did you come up with these ingredients? Did you just throw a grenade down aisle 6? 5 eggs. Now the chickens are implicated. What is that? Make sure to clean your grind-o-mat. I'm not concerned about your precious grind-o-mat. Lastly, we have half a cup of melted butter and 2 teaspoons of floof powder. Yeah, good luck with that. Only thing this is gonna rise up from is the dead. Catastrophe de bonen. 45 minutes at 375. What? It's a cake. How? You have no right. Soft, dense, rich. No! This is phenomenal. Glorified rice from 1909. We start by cooking a cup of rice. Fire! Are you ready for glory? Cool down the rice gently. Opposed to what? What am I gonna use? A leaf blower? Now for 8 ounces of pineapple and 8 ounces of candied cherries. But there's rice. We quarter the cherries in half. Quarter the cherries? You're gonna make me stroke out. Precisely what realm of mathematics do you inhabit? Finally, we need a cup of heavy cream. I don't like where this is going. And a half cup of powdered sugar. Then we gently whip this stiff again with the gently. How do you gently whip cream, you tart? It's like saying gently have a car accident. Then you just fold everything together. Get in. Oh, not the rice. What is this? To the fridge. Now I'm told that this stuff is still brought to potlucks in the Midwest. Oh dear. I find that remarkably uncomfortable. People still bring this to functions for consumption. That would give me consumption. 2-ingredient pumpkin quickies from 65. Yes, it's officially pumpkin season, which means people are whipping out the boots with the fur and trying to snag any wayward bachelor within 100 meters. But it also means baking. First is a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Release the gourd. And the last ingredient is a box of spice cake mix, pioneered in 1951 by Mr. Duncan Hines. This is him right here. He looks like if you get a tattoo, you'll be written out of the will. Missionary only type of guy. Now we just mix. Well, these definitely are quickies. And I would know. Like draft dodgers, I don't see much action. That's why I'm called Drive-By Dylan. $3.50 for roughly 12 minutes. But just watch them. Whoa! Cookie! A traditional cookie? No. Soft, cakey, and very pleasant. Yes. Your pumpkin spice is already in here. You just added the pumpkin. Is it cheating? Yes. But cheating tastes good. Ice cream bread from 78. Now, I think the best way to eat ice cream is to eat it straight from the tub. However, like the first time I got up close with a man, this recipe has me second guessing. This recipe comes from a cookbook called Cookbook. They were very bright. We're gonna need 2 cups of full-fat ice cream. None of that healthy stuff. What are you trying to do, live longer? Now, before we dive in, we need to wait for this to get soft, which is the opposite of what we're used to, depending on what you're diving into. 1, 2. Next, we beat in 1.5 cups of flour, plus 1.5 teaspoons of floof powder. Boop. Well, this is unorthodox. And then into a greased loaf pan. Is that it? I'm not gonna tell you, oh, there's no way this is gonna work, because it makes sense, doesn't it? Ice cream has your sugar, your flavor, your fat, your dairy, everything. I've just never thought to come up with it. Now it says we can add sprinkles for the children. Screw that. This is for me. What do you take me for? Grown? Ah, look it! Bake at $3.50 for about 45 minutes. Just check yours with a toothpick. Ooh, ooh. Oh man, Frank. Perfectly sweet and soft and marvelous.